Police respond to several calls on an apartment complex on Park Avenue. The reports include a welfare check, a disorderly person, and somebody armed. When officers arrive, residents are already outside because a fire alarm has been pulled. An officer enters the building and encounters a woman screaming while holding a large knife. The officer identifies himself as police. The woman runs into an apartment and shuts the door. Officers see blood in the hallway and attempt to enter, but she remains inside. More officers arrive and begin speaking to her through the door, trying to calm the situation. They give clear commands for her to come out and drop the knife. She eventually exits the apartment holding the knife in one hand and an electrical stun stick in the other. She doesn't follow commands. Officers deploy tasers, but they have no effect. One officer fires his weapon, striking her. Even after being shot, she continues resisting, and officers struggle to secure the knife. They keep giving verbal commands and maintain distance. Eventually, she drops both weapons and is taken into custody. She's transported to the hospital with gunshot wounds and later charged with assault and weapons offenses. In the early hours of the morning, police respond to an emergency radio call about a burglary in progress at an apartment complex on Satakoy Street. The suspect is reported to be breaking windows, entering apartments, and carrying a weapon. Officers arrive and move up to the second floor. They encounter a man exiting an apartment holding a metal pole. Officers order him to drop it. He refuses. A taser is deployed, but it doesn't stop him. The man advances toward the officers. With no compliance and no space to retreat, an officer-involved shooting occurs. The suspect is struck, but doesn't immediately surrender. Officers take him to the ground and place him into custody. He's taken to a hospital, treated, and released. During the incident, 2 residents were injured in contact with the suspect. One officer also sustained minor injuries. The metal pole is recovered as evidence. What began as a break-in ends with gunfire and multiple injuries. Late at night, 2 officers on routine patrol are flagged down by a civilian on Bedford Street. The civilian points to a white BMW stopped nearby and tells him something is wrong. As the officers approach the vehicle on foot, the driver suddenly steps out holding what appears to be a gun. He raises it and points it directly at both officers. The officers fire multiple rounds. The man is struck and taken into custody. He's transported to the hospital, where he's later pronounced deceased. Investigators discovered the weapon was a pellet pistol. They also learned the man had been involved in a car crash earlier and fled the scene. The civilian followed him until the police intervened. The pellet pistols recovered at the scene, but the encounter has already ended in fatal consequences. The sheriff's office received a report of a stolen red SUV earlier in the day. A lieutenant later spots a vehicle matching the description near Brooks-Woolsey Road and attempts a traffic stop. The driver refuses to pull over. Instead, the vehicle speeds away. A pursuit begins and quickly becomes dangerous. The SUV reaches speeds exceeding 115 miles per hour. As officers prepare to call off the pursuit, the vehicle loses control and rolls over near a highway connector. The driver is removed from the wrecked SUV. The driver turns out to be a 17-year-old who had also been reported missing. He has no major injuries. He's arrested and charged with numerous traffic and criminal offenses, denied bond, and placed in jail. The chase ends, not with an arrest on the roadside, but with a violent crash. Officers stop a Nissan Altima after learning the driver has a suspended license. During the stop, the driver refuses to follow commands and attempts to run on foot. He's quickly caught. Officers search the vehicle and discover more than 4 pounds of marijuana and a firearm. The driver is a convicted felon, making possession of the firearm a serious offense. He's arrested and charged with multiple crimes, including weapons violations, drug possession, obstruction, and driving offenses. He's transported to the county jail. What begins as a routine traffic stop turns into a major criminal case. Up next, hospital highway chaos. A man charges police with a weapon. A foot chase turns into a gunfight. A fake gun triggers real gunfire. A domestic call ends in tragedy. Multiple 911 calls come from a hospital reporting a violent man inside. Witnesses say he's cutting himself and fighting the staff. Officers respond to the 8th floor and find him blocking a room with 2 people trapped inside. He's holding a sharp piece of a broken toilet seat. Officers order him to drop it. He refuses and steps toward them. One officer fires a single shot while others deploy tasers. The man doesn't comply. For several minutes, officers attempt to talk him down while he tries to close the door. Tasers continue to fail. When he emerges again with the weapon raised, officers fire additional rounds. He falls, but still maintains control of the weapon. After more taser deployments, officers finally restrain him. He's treated by hospital staff, but is later declared deceased. A medical emergency turns into a fatal police encounter inside a hospital. Officers on patrol stop a vehicle for a traffic violation late at night. The vehicle pulls over, but one of the occupants runs away on foot. An officer chases him. A physical struggle breaks out when the officer catches up. During the fight, the suspect pulls out a handgun and points it at the officer. The officer fires. The suspect is struck. Officers on scene provide medical aid until paramedics arrive. The suspect is taken to the hospital in critical condition. When released, he's booked into jail on charges including attempted murder of a peace officer. This routine traffic stop escalates into a deadly confrontation in seconds. Deputies respond to a disturbance at a business where a man has entered an employee-only area and refuses to leave. When deputies arrive, they see him standing near the entrance. They tell him to stop and remove his hands from his pockets. He refuses. Instead, he pulls out what appears to be a handgun and points it at deputies. Deputies fire, striking him. He falls to the ground. Deputies provide medical aid until firefighters arrive. He's taken to the hospital for treatment. No deputies are injured. The weapon is later identified as an air gun designed to look like a real Glock. The moment he raised it, the situation became deadly. Residents at an apartment complex report a loud argument between a man and his wife. They also say that the man is holding a gun. Officers arrive and speak with the wife, who confirms the argument has taken place. While police officers are speaking with the woman, the man approaches. They ask him if he's armed. He lifts his shirt and pulls out a gun from his waistband. Officers grab him and a struggle ensues. During the fight, the man fires a round. Officers fire back. Backup arrives and secures the weapon. Officers provide medical aid until paramedics arrive. The man is taken to the hospital, where he later dies. Another handgun is found on his person. An autopsy later reveals a fatal contact gunshot wound under his jaw. What began as a domestic argument ended in a deadly police shooting.